lot of collabs. Okay, that's to get the brand out there. So I get a lot of clients that message me saying, "Oh, I can see your brand everywhere. You're the best." Google reviews. We do influencer marketing. We do SEO. We do socials. We help with training, and because our machines are medical graded, we ensure that all therapists are trained. VTCT, so it's a qualification that's used worldwide and recognized worldwide. Terms of the equipment we use, it's not just a beauty equipment that you buy and you just go off and you're left on your own. You get ongoing support from our distributor, you get clinical support, and then you get our additional support on top. So we're literally holding your hand all the way. If it's at so we get a lot of investors where they don't want to work in the clinic and it's staff run, so we lead everything from that perspective. So we've got some franchises in the UK where they've invested and they're on the 2 or 3rd clinic. A lot of medics where they only know medical, but they want to bring in beauty. So we're helping them, more on the beauty side, combined in with the medical. That's it.
Sure. Thank you so much, Devinder. So, I think it was a presentation. Everybody understand what the brand brings to, but I think I'd like to add on to this. Why it was essential for us to also bring this brand into Indian market was that since we had our R&Ds and we understood the market for aesthetic clinics here in India, we did understand there is a rising disposable income, and the awareness has been increasing about skincare, about aesthetic treatments, and there is a driving demand where we see the new brands also emerging into markets in India. Also, I think a large shift towards a young population who's very beauty conscious today. Even if we talk about the urban population or maybe your tier 2 or tier 3 population, because of, I think, the social media influence and everything, there is kind of a conscious beauty shift that we see in Indian markets. And why we wanted laser skin from UK to India is because it's a very experienced brand. Devinder has been leading this for years. She has the number of centers across UK, and I think the team with the brand understands what it basically means to have these treatments, what kind of trainings need to be embedded, and I think that is what would be an upper hand instead of the new people who are launching these brands into Indian markets. And I think the comprehensive training support that the brand would bring in terms of the equipments, in terms of the staff, all the treatments, I think that is commendable. Also, I think the major USP is that they are not dependent on very mediocre equipments. The equipments, which will be the laser machineries and tools, these are the state of art equipments. And I think the entire support in terms of how to use this equipment, how the trainings would be done, the entire SOPs is what would be embedded into the system, into Indian centers as well. I think I'll now take the people on board through the financials. Uh,
Nikita, before you do
Bharat?
that, I'd like
Yeah.
to thank Andy, you and Devinder for coming on the webinar today. And friends, my request to all of you would be any questions that you have on the business model, please write to us in the Q&A box. We'll be happy to answer these questions live. And also, we will run you through the financials and what it takes to become a partner with Laser Skin. But just to quickly recap the entire opportunity, the company Laser Skin is a UK-based brand which specializes in the advanced skin and laser treatments. And they're also recognized in UK as a 5-star rated clinic, which is very, very rare. And like I think Andy and Devinder talked about it. And they perhaps are UK's first pain-free laser hair removal clinic, and they treat all kind of skin types with a lot of I would say cutting edge technology, which we'll talk about. I think some of you have asked questions on the equipments which are also required. We'll also answer that. And I'd like to thank both of you. We have the privilege to have you amongst us, the founders of the company. And as we see today, India is increasingly becoming a global hub for hair, skin, and other cosmetic procedures because of the cost, the medical care, which is available at a very high quality and surgical facilities, which is conducted by experts. And today, India is world's 10th largest medical tourism hub, also where hair, skin, weight loss, and along with other cosmetic treatments are happening at a very high pace. So, very huge market for us. And with the business model which they perfected over the years in UK and successfully operating across UK, the company finally announced their global expansion through a strategic partnership with Fran Global. And I would say we are proud to partner with Andy and Devinder to bring the brand to the Indian market, as we also see along with them a very huge potential in the Indian market. So, friends, we have an opportunity both to become a unit partner where you can run and operate the franchise yourself, and also an area franchisee if you choose to become an area franchisee. So we have both these opportunities available. We'll quickly run you through the investment, and typically the investment includes a larger component of equipment because that's the nucleus, or I would say lifeline for this business. And the second part comes in the interior, your basic, civil work, interior work, and third is your franchise fees. So broadly, these are the top three. Breakup in terms of the investment. So we'll run you through that very quickly, and we'll be happy to take any questions that you have. And friends, I'll also request if anybody comes from a complementing industry, please do reach out to us, and you can mention that. We'll be happy to mention your city and your profile if you write that to us. Nikita, over to you.
Sure. Thank you, ma'am. Okay. Square feet, but as low as a 500 square feet is what you can also go for if you want to go into a very premium high street. And I think that is also that could be done. For a unit store, a single store, the franchise fee you pay to the brand will be 20 lakhs, which is closely around 18 to 20,000 pounds. The interior cost roughly goes into your 25 to 30 lakh rupees, including your civils, your furnitures, your treatment beds, light decors. The equipment cost, typically your laser machine would cost you between 50 to 55 lakh rupees. And I think the specifications and everything could be drawn in regard to what the brand will suggest, because we already have a distributor or the vendor for this machinery. We have finalized into Indian markets as well. So I think it will be an easier trade-off equipment procurement for the partners who want to launch into Indian markets. Additionally, any other equipment, which could be your analyzer, your dermoscopes, could be another 5 to 10 lakh rupees, which goes into your supportive equipment. The other expenses into your POS, your technologies, your licenses, and also an initial marketing promotion. So roughly between 1 to 1.2 CR becomes an average investment that you put in to the center for the entire setup, your equipments, and all the other licenses and miscellaneouses. If you talk about the kind of structure you'll require a head doctor or a dermatologist who manages the center. Additionally, you'll require the laser technicians, which would support them, and additionally, any nurses or assistant for the doctors. Others could be your 2 to 3 admin support staff, which could be your clinic manager. Your maybe a front desk or a receptionist, 2 people there required, or a cleaning staff. So on a whole, 8 to 10 people are what you'll require to operate the entire center, giving you a monthly salary of between 3 to 3.5 lakh rupees is what we have understood here. In terms of, yes,
Yes.
Devinder.
It doesn't need to be doctor led at all. So yeah, it doesn't need to be doctor led. That's the first thing. And second thing is, there's an option for a skin if they want to do a skin. If they want to take on a skin franchise separate. So there's that, and that's 33,000 rupees as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
will mention it.
I heard you mention 8 to 10 staff. That's
You'd need about 2.
yeah. You need just 2 members of staff. That's all you need.
Okay,
So that means that the profit would be much higher.
sure. We'll mention it that way. So ideally, I think as suggested, we might require 2 to 3 staff, where a skin, I think a technician or a person would be required, and additionally an assistant for the center. We'll mention it that way so that it actually improves the profitability on the center as well. All right. So in terms of our transactions, we have understood that if typically in the initial run, they are able to do 25 transactions, which give you a treatment cost of close to 50,000 rupees per client on the number of sessions that they take. So typically a 12 to 15 lakh rupee monthly revenue is what you can generate, giving you an annual revenue of close to 1.5 CR. And the royalty that you'll be paying to the brand would be close to 6% on the total revenue that is being generated on the center. Additionally, your staff cost, typically, I think what has been addressed is between 20 to 25, but I think as Andy had suggested, this could be minimized in a bracket of 12 to 15% on the total revenue. Then could be your other expenses such as your rental cost, your utilities, your repair maintenances, or any kind of miscellaneous cost. And additionally, marketing cost, where you spend an amount in terms of social media promotions and marketings. So typically 2 to 3% is what you spend there. So on an initial investment of close to 1 to 1.2 CR, your payback on the investment could be in a period of 2 to 2.5 years. But if I think we are optimizing on the salary cost, I think it could be well within a period of 2 years as well.
Yeah, around 1.5 years is
Yes,
about the average. Some clinics is far sooner as well. Those that are more proactive in terms of their marketing will find that they'll get a return on investment well within a year as well.
sure. And I think as Sonia ma'am has also suggested, we are looking for unit partners as well. And if somebody would want to territorize an entire area, I think we can have a deal around that as well for the number of centers that could be procured into that particular vicinity. Anything, Andy, you like to add on that, or Devinder, if you'd like to add on the financials?
Anything else to add? Yeah, I think you look at property cost as well. I mean, it's not necessarily the case that you need to take something that's 2,000 square feet. The leaner the model, the better it is. The lower the property costs, of course, the better it is. It doesn't need to be that big, so long as it's prestigious, so long as it fits within the brand. Typically, our locations here are grade 2 kind of Georgian buildings, whereby we'll rent 2 or 3 rooms within a building. And typically,
to keep the costs low.
yeah, within the same building, there'll be other businesses who offer complementary treatments as well. And that's where we benefit from cross referrals here.
Yeah. Sonia ma'am, if you'd like to add on to that.
Thanks, Nikita. And friends, while we showed the financials to you, there's a very detailed working that we have done on the unit economics. And I see some of you want to also speak to Andy and Devinder. I'll request you to please share your credentials with us. We'll also leave our details. We'll look forward to setting up a meeting with both of them. So just to summarize, we're looking for a franchisee on franchisee operated model, which can be anything upwards of 500 square feet. And like Andy said, we need to have a tighter business model. We're looking at an overall outlay of about 1 crore, where 50% of the investment, close to 50% of the investment goes towards your equipment, and the balance is split between the cost of interior and the franchise fees. The overall supplies, the equipment, all that would be managed by Laser Skin. We have suppliers in India. These are all state-of-the-art equipment that we would supply. And all the consumables will also be supplied by Laser Skin. If you look at the beauty of the model and compared to many other industries or categories, I would say this is a very sustainable franchise opportunity because it has a very high per square feet efficiency. So while you might have a 500 square feet of space, but per square feet efficiency of each square feet is very high because your average ticket size or the cost of services in this business is comparatively higher. Right. So second is your repeat nature of services and also repeat clientele, because most of the clinics would have services which would require a couple of sittings to be done. And also the clientele is a repeat, which means the same clientele would keep coming back for similar or more services. Equipment and expertise, I think both are imperative for successful clinic to operate and run. And like I said, the cost of equipment in the entire capex is high because that's the lifeline of the business. there should be no downtime in a business like this. And the second is you need an expert hand. People take this only through word of mouth. So an expert hand is something which is required. So complete focus and sensitivity is given in terms of training of the staff, the quality of the equipment which is there. And the entire volume that we see with an average ticket size of 50,000, we're looking at a 6% royalty on the overall sales in the business. So of all the net sales that we would do, a 6% royalty would come to Laser Skin. So friends, if you have any questions, ask. I see some questions I would want to maybe take. And Andy, Devinder, if you see any questions, if you want to pick up any of these questions on a priority, we can pick some of these questions from the audience who've started to write. Friends, I'll request if you put in the chat, it'll be easy for us because I'm seeing questions coming in Q&A and also in the chat. You can put your questions in the Q&A box. It'll be easy for us to find your questions and reply.
You want me to actually write them down? Okay. So does the company offer NDAG?
So Mr. Ratish Menon has asked
Yeah.
the following question.
So yeah. So does the company offer NDAG laser models specifically designed for effective facial hair in women? If so, could you share details about the features, compatibility with various skin tones? So the machine we do use is NDAG. It is medical and it's safe to use on all skin types. So within the UK, I'm a member of the British Medical Laser Association, Black Skin Directory, and a Colour of Skin Association. Just to give confidence to clients that it is a medical machine and it is safe to use on all skin types. Is there any unique, so by Rakesh Kukreja, is there any unique technology that you're bringing to India? Yeah. So it's a medical device and also it has an option of it's the only pain-free on the market. So that's from the laser perspective. And then from the skin perspective, we're using a laser machine to treat melasma and other skin conditions.
Yeah, and I think just to add, it wasn't previously available in India.
No, so we're the only clinics within the UK as well that are using this state-of-the-art machine. It stands us out from the crowd. But, like I said, there are other laser companies here that are large and established, but we stand out is because of the technology that we're using. And then again, it's very results driven. So it grows through social media, word of mouth. We're just booked like back to back every single day to the point.
Influencer activity as well.
Yeah, influencers we use. Average cost of session. So how we would work out the pricing is we do a benchmarking against the local competitors. So that's how we work within the UK. I have got some pricing. It would be half the price of the UK, but I can share the pricing with you.
So in pounds, that would be around. So
in pounds for a full body within the UK, it's 1,200, but obviously that's £1,200, but that's a lot of money, in India conversion. So it would be literally half the price of that, and that would be around 8 sessions. Okay. Do I?
Okay. Meanwhile, just to interrupt, we have lots of people asking questions in the chat, not in the Q&A. So I would request you to please put all your queries in the Q&A box. That will be easier for us to read and ask.
Okay. So there's one here, Q switch and 4. Yeah, so it is a 4B laser, and the skin one, which is 33,000, does do hair transplant as well. Let's see.
Thanks, Devinder. I'll also pick some questions and maybe it'll help our audience today. And Pankaj, I'll request, I think you also want to speak to Devinder. I'll request if you also share your coordinates with us. And we leave our email ID in the chat box. You can reach out to us. And if you also share a bit about yourself, I understand you want to start one center here in Delhi. So I'm assuming you're from Delhi NCR. So very quickly, Andy and Davinder, if we can also talk about our the entire service offering that we have, and typically, the number of services versus, I would say, the revenue mix. So I think laser is the most popular service, but if you can give an overview of all the services that we offer and a proportionate revenue that these service would give. So I say, this is what contributes maybe my 60% of my revenue or my 70% of my revenue, if you want to give that example for a better understanding.
Yeah, I will do. So I'd say 80% is laser hair removal. How did I get there? So it didn't just, our laser hair removal. So we educate the market a lot. Hence the reason we're fully booked. Because, that's within the UK, that's men and women. So like, men want their cheeks doing, like there's a lot of gym people that want their chest doing, their back doing. So I would say 80% of that is for my revenue. The other 20% is laser facials for skin rejuvenation. So I'd say about skin rejuvenation is about 10%, but then you've got the Red Touch Pro, which is melasma, so that's the other 10%. So that's anti-aging, stretch marks, and it also does alopecia as well and hair loss. The other machine does. So in as terms of a franchise, they can either do the hair removal route, okay, and you get laser facials with that, so you're still doing skin rejuvenation, or you can do just the skin route on its own, where you're doing stretch marks, alopecia, and you're doing melasma, wrinkles, or you can combine the two together.
Helpful.
But within the UK, primarily, it is laser hair removal. I think with India, it would probably be a bit more skin from what I could see, looking at people's skin.
Thanks, Davinder. It's similar stats for India also. Laser obviously is one of the highest services which most of the consumers, and especially the women consumer want. So laser definitely would be on top of that, followed by skin.
Yeah.
Just to answer some more questions on this webinar chat, Pankaj Gold's asked about interior recruitment marketing. So yeah,
So we do all that.
The interiors included will aid with the recruitment, and the machine we've already discussed. And it's all quite clear and obvious on the website as well, laser-skin.co.uk. What's different if we compare this brand with Indian derma clinics? I'm not too familiar with who Indian derma clinics are, but again, just have a look at our website and you'll see what we do.
Yeah. So again, if we're competing against Indian derma clinics in the UK, we're competing against the two biggest brands, which is Laser Clinics UK and Therapy. And again, we're getting a lot more franchises signed up within our first year than they did within, the lifetime. They're getting a lot of clinics of theirs are actually closing down, whereas ours are actually growing, and we're getting a busier market, and it is because of the machinery we use and our model. So we base it a lot on customer service as well, rather than just sales driven.
Just going back to
Itself within
derma,
itself.
I'd expect that they won't have the same machinery. Again, Pankaj has asked, here in Delhi, Pancholi, Kaya Skin is moving more in the market. We have to give treatments and cover all area they are covering. And I think he's asked for a direct Zoom meeting with us.
We'll organize that, Andy. We'll do that. And Pankaj, I'll request you share your details with us. We'll connect with you. And also, just to add, since we are looking at partners across the country, our preference would be the top, I would say, eight cities to start off with, which definitely includes Delhi and then Bombay. And I see some of our audience, or I would say prospective partners who have joined from these cities, and some are very relevant profiles, including dermatologists and doctors themselves. And so Delhi would be one. We're looking at Hyderabad, Bombay, Bangalore, Chennai, and also Tri-City. Chandigarh is a very big opportunity. So these would be including Kolkata. So the top 8 cities would be priority for us to first enter, followed by the locations. So friends, my request would be reach out to us. We'll be happy to share more information and very specifically on the machines, the services, the offering, and more on the unit economics of the model as we come and speak to you directly. We have been operating in across India. I have my teams in Bombay and Delhi who are working directly with the Laser Skin. And just to add, Franchise India, Fran Global, which is the Indian and the international arm of Franchise India, has acquired the master franchise rights of Laser Clinic in India. And our teams are working very closely with both Andy and the vendor to bring our initial partners on board and also to work very closely in the launch and support to make our operations very smooth. And before we close, Andy, Devinder, I'll also request you to share maybe a closing remark for all the audience who are listening live to you.
Yeah, so anyone interested, please message. You get full support. Why did we go down the laser hair removal route? I feel like if you do, because I'm getting a lot of questions, does one machine do everything? We specialize prominently in laser hair removal because I feel like so many clinics are doing everything. And I think if you're a master of one thing, you're good at it and you grow within that faster rather than you're doing laser, then you're doing something else. It gets a bit messy. There's always opportunity to start with the laser, and like you said, Sonia, to expand into skin. But laser is, yeah. But thank you for joining the call. Any questions, be in contact. But it is, you know, go ahead, look at the website, look at our socials. But yeah, it's flying in the UK. Like as a brand, it's just flying.
Yeah, I'd reiterate that. I think for anybody who wants to know more about how we do our marketing, have a look at the Instagram and have a look at the caliber of influencers that we engage with.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily about the most amount of following, but it's about the engagement that they have.
So all my following's engaged is all organic. So I haven't got 21k followers, but the clinics are very, very busy.
Wonderful. And maybe I'll take a moment while we have shared the website of the company, friends, I'll also take a moment to share their website. And yes, I think here it goes. I don't know if it is visible. Okay. I think this is.
If you could share the Instagram as well, Sonia, that'd be good.
Can you share the link with me? I don't have the link handy with me. This is the website link. So you have to put www.laser-skin.co.uk. Only if you put dash, you will get to the right website. Otherwise, you might land on another website. And they also have an academy.
Got a new website launching in February. But yeah, we're also a training academy as well.
Yes.
Ma'am, I've put in the link into the chat box, the Instagram link.
All right. Want to share that with our audience?
Yeah, I've just shared the Instagram on the WhatsApp group that we share, guys.
All right. Let me also put that link for everybody to see. As we've also put the Instagram link, I'm unable to do that. Nikita, can you put that for everybody?
I have put it in the chat box.
Okay.
I think I'll also just quickly take everybody through the Instagram page. I think we already have a good. This is the entire Instagram page, and everybody we have put it in the chat box as well, so that you can also see into that as well.
And then each franchisee has their own Instagram page as well. So we do all the marketing for them, but then they have a lot of local marketing as well. Because obviously with Instagram, if you put in laser hair removal, you want to ensure that they're coming up as a search engine.
Mr. Jairaj, we've again shared the link. You can check in the chat box and copy the link Wonderful. Thank you so much, Tavinder and Andy, for coming in today. I'd like to thank all our friends who came in and joined the webinar. Friends, like I said, we'll be happy to connect with all of you one-to-one. We'd like to understand your profiles more deeper, understand the city and where we want to start with. And once we have qualified, we'd like to connect you with Andy and Tavinder for the second round. Thank you. Thank you once again. Thank you.
That's all right. Thank you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
everyone.
Bye-bye.